Okay, everybody, so let's get started. I'll just make sure that, yeah, we've started recording. So a really big welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight for our Beach Money presentation. I just want to take a couple of minutes just before we get started to introduce you to the event. First of all, you're on this presentation because someone has thought enough of you to let you in on one of the biggest kept secrets, I think. And what we're going to show you tonight is an opportunity, a business that can give you an incredible way of making some fantastic changes in your life and some new choices. Tonight's called Beach Money Presentation because it's a way of creating a life that you could live from a beach wherever you are in the world. You could earn money while you're lying on the beach and still be drinking that cocktail. So I know that sounds far-fetched, but when you've seen everything you're going to see tonight, you'll definitely get the idea of what I'm talking about. Now, I'm Ginny, and I'm going to introduce myself a little bit later on because I don't want to sort of take up too much time at the beginning. I want to introduce you to some of our speakers because there's quite a few of us this evening, and we're going to give you an insight into how this business can really make some incredible changes for you with some proven systems and a blueprint for success. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the first speaker, which is Louise Riley. I've known Louise for a really long time. She's an incredible ambassador for the business, and I'll hand you over to her to start the presentation. So over to you, Louise.
Well, good evening, everybody. As Ginny said, my name is Louise Riley, and I have been building my business alongside Forever for the last 24 years. In fact, it was my husband, Ashley, that started the business. In fact, I wasn't married to him when I was first introduced to the company, but he introduced me to the company, first of all, through the products. And I was at that crossroads in my life when I was a single mum, and I didn't have a lot going on in my life apart from a lot of worry. And I didn't have a job when I left my first husband. And for me, it was, I was feeling lost. That's all I can say. I was feeling totally lost. I didn't know how I was going to be able to support the children and myself. And I really wanted to find a way to do all that, but also be a mum and be there for the children. And maybe some of you can relate to that feeling of you've got to this part in your life and you just don't know which way to go, and you're looking for a sign that's going to lead you in the right way. And for me is when I came across the company, and what I could see at that moment in time was hope that it was a structure that I could plug into, and it was going to give me what I was looking for that time, that flexibility, but also that security. So if we fast forward 24 years, it has delivered in all those different ways. My children, when I first started my business, were 3.5 going on 4. They're triplets. They're now 27. But alongside the triplets, I actually have 2 other children. So for me, it's going from that feeling of not knowing what I was going to do with my life, being able to then plug into something that was going to actually completely support me in the way that I was going to be able to then duplicate and give that security to my kids. Now, for me, that's 24 years ago. And obviously, we're talking tonight to people that probably may be at that crossroads, and it's all kind of a little bit new. And for me, when you look at this slide here, this is the global wellness economy. And my background, I had been in the beauty industry years before I actually came across Forever, and then I started my own business in high-end fashion. So I've moved away from wellness, but it also always been a passion of mine. But what I want you to do is, by looking at this slide, I want you to just realize, when you understand about the size of the wellness economy, in fact, it's nearly twice as fast, it's growing twice as fast as the global economic growth. And if you look at those turquoise circles, I just want you to relate to that for a moment. If you look at those areas, I want you to think about, do you have interest, or are you actually involved in those areas now? For example, when you look at complementary medicine, or preventative medicine? What about, do you have an interest, or maybe you're involved in healthy eating and nutrition and weight loss? And look at personal care, beauty and anti-aging. So I just want you to think, first of all, I want you to connect yourself, because are you involved in those areas, or do you have anything to do with any of those areas at all? Do you like healthy eating? What about beauty? What about thinking outside the box a bit and not always planning to go to see the doctor when you're a little bit under the weather? So this is the new gold rush. This is where there is growth, economic growth. Next slide then, please. Now, you're already part of the gold rush. In the last 5 years, you have maybe dealt with any of these different areas. What about more exercise, or even started some exercise? What about healthy eating or giving up smoking? I'm really guilty about the drinking more water scenario. And that's something that I actually started doing this year. It's amazing, isn't it, when we don't realise the importance of drinking water when it is an important nutrient. And what about supplements? You know, this is about, it's about thinking a little bit more about the now, because if you are prepared to invest in your health, it means you're not going to have to pay for your illness later. And that's why that particular area is growing more. This is quite an interesting one. Have you drunk less alcohol? Well, maybe if you take the supplements, it doesn't matter about the alcohol. But hey, you know, joking apart, that more and more people are starting to be more connected with some of these areas, and maybe that's also applied to you. Can we have the next slide then, please? What about network marketing? Let me ask you a question. Have you had any connection at all with network marketing? Maybe you have been involved in network marketing in the past. Maybe you're involved in network marketing now. What about you have a close member of your family or a friend that is actually involved in network marketing? Or indeed, you personally have purchased products from companies that are involved in network marketing. Now, if you look at these different areas here, and if you can look at those global sales, but if you look at these, if you look at the blue ones, not the turquoise ones, they're huge areas. And when you consider that the cosmetics and personal care and wellness, that's exactly what we're involved in. And network marketing is an industry where we are moving products to the end consumer, but we're kind of like cutting out the middleman, so we can deliver good quality, high-end products at a very kind of moderate price. Can we move to the next slide then, please? Now, recommendations are worth their weight in gold, and I want you just to think about it for a moment. When was the last time that you actually recommended something to somebody? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we are natural networkers, whether we know it or not, because we often tend to prefer to be following people's advice, our friends and family, our close circle, you might say. And what could those be? It could be not just products, but I want you to also think about who you may have recommended a film to, or what about a restaurant? What about a holiday, or even a service? Maybe it's somebody who is a plumber or a decorator. So as you can see, that recommendation marketing is something that we do naturally anyway, and it's people feel very, very comfortable with that. And that's exactly how we operate as a company. And the next slide then, please. Now, this is also interesting because I want you just to have a look at this list. And it's not just one of these or two of these, but I just want you to think right now, with what's going on in your life right now, what is important to you? Could it be some extra income or a little bit of extra cash flow? You know, cash flow, something that's really flexible, that you can fit around what you're doing at the moment. What about time? Do you feel that maybe you are time poor? And what about lifestyle? Do you feel that you are just going from A to B all the time? And actually, sometimes we're caught up on that hamster wheel where we might have income, we might have money coming in, but we're so time poor, we don't actually have any style in our life. What about the future? Pensions is a bit of a scary word. And I tell you what's really interesting, that I have been, as I said, building my business for forever for 24 years. And within that time, I have people in my team from all different walks of life. And that's one of the biggest things that people can really relate to from different backgrounds. There is recognition, or let's say lack of recognition. Think about it. When was the last time you were recognised for a job well done in whatever you're doing at the moment? Do you feel a bit stuck in what you're doing within your career? Or would you like to have more experiences by travelling the world, seeing different places? Think about some cities that, or some places, some countries that would really you'd like to travel to, or maybe on your bucket list. But you know, a lot of the things above, none of that is really important unless you've got health. But what about health? Is that something that's really important to you? Personal development, or feeling like you are giving back, feeling like you are part of something. In fact, making a difference is something that is one of the biggest things that's standing out in the world that we live in today. Next slide then, please. Okay, is that me finished, Ginny? I feel that might be me finished.
I think it is. I'm going to hand over now to Elizabeth. So Liz is very excited. Liz is all the way over in Guernsey. So just like Louise said, we've got people in the business from all over the world, but we've also got people from all over the country and internationally tonight. So welcome, Liz, and we look forward to hearing a little bit about you and some of the products as well. So over to you.
Thank you. Hi everyone. So I am Liz. As Ginny said, I'm away in Guernsey, but you know, we can be all over the world with Forever, which is fantastic. So I joined Forever 3 years ago now, and I now run my business alongside my part-time nursing career and looking after my family of 3 little girls and a dog and a husband. So it's flexible, and that's what I absolutely love about it. I love this business so much, so I'm really, really pleased to be telling you about it. So why Forever? Well, it's a family-run business. You can see that picture of Rex there. It was founded in 1978, the year I was born, so it's very, very precious to me too, by Rex Morn, and he created this amazing company that reaches out to absolutely everybody. Everybody could join this business if they wanted to. Forever's committed to environmental responsibility, which is so important these days. It's passionate for people. It's a cash-rich, debt-free. I mean, this whole slide is Forever. That is what Forever is all about. So take a moment just to have a look at one of those things. It's amazing, I think. Forever's in over 160 countries now, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can grow your business over those 160 countries. Which, you know, with technology these days, we can over, you know, different platforms and things like that. Full training and support is given. And that for me, when I first joined the company, was a massive thing. It still is, just to get that connection with people and have the support throughout from wherever within the business. And that's upline, crossline, everywhere. Anybody will help, which is absolutely wonderful. Next slide, please, Ginny. Thank you. So making a difference, yeah. So Forever are committed, really committed to making a difference. On this slide, you can see the first picture along the top is the Rise Against Hunger charity, which this is the charity that Forever is working with at the moment, and they are aiming to pack millions of meals for people in third world countries. And this is an event that happens every year with Forever. This is August, and that day families come along and everyone gets involved and does their bit for charity, which is amazing. It makes a difference to health and your lifestyle. Next, please, Ginny. Thank you. So this slide is about the Forever products. This is the picture of those aloe vera bottles there. That is our flagship product, the aloe vera gel. Forever is the world's #1 grower and producer of aloe vera products, so they are the top in the world, which for me, again, when I joined, was amazing. It's, you know, it's wonderful to be working for the, you know, the top company in the world. All of the aloe vera is hand harvested, hand filleted, and the inner gel is used, which is why it's a high quality product. Every stage of the process, from plant to that bottle of aloe vera gel, is controlled by Forever. It has a 60-day money back guarantee, which again, you couldn't really walk into Boots or another shop like that and say, I've used this for 60 days, I'll have my money back, please. That's how confident Forever are in their product. And I've seen that over the last 3 years. It's superior. It's amazing. The other really fun thing I love on this slide is that the goats and sheep and cattle bit at the bottom. So we don't use any pesticides or anything nasties like that. Weed control is done by these goats, sheep and cattle. So it just works the whole process. Next slide, please, Judy. Thank you. So this is, as I said, this is the liquid gold. This is the key to health, the aloe vera gel. Now, this is the first product I started using from the Forever range, and it transformed my life, really. So Forever aloe vera gel supports a healthy digestion, helps maintain natural energy levels, promotes a healthy immune system. This is all in conjunction with looking after yourself properly. It assists in natural beauty because what it does, it helps you from the inside out. And as everyone knows, aloe vera has been celebrated for thousands of years as a natural soothing, cooling property in it. And that's why it does its good job for you. I wouldn't be without my aloe vera gel, absolutely not. And it's for the whole family as well. You know, I said before I had a young family, everybody has this, and it really, really has made a difference. Next slide, please. So on this slide, you can see it's not just about the aloe vera drinking gel. We have a wide range of products. So it's not just directed at one thing. It's an extended healthcare range. On the left there, you can see the skincare range. We have a variety of skincare ranges, a broad spectrum, which is accessible to everyone. Weight management and sports and nutrition. So again, it covers the whole of the population. Everybody in the population needs something within those ranges, and they're superior ranges. Next slide, please, Ginny. Thank you. So as we know, people at the moment are, you know, they're being proactive about their health. Everybody's aware of it. It's all in the media. So we are in the right marketplace at the moment. You can see those figures on there that, you know, they're big. It's big amounts of money. And it's, you know, as Louise said earlier, it's booming. Everybody is exercising. Everybody wants to improve themselves at the moment. We all know statistics about, you know, different things in the media. So we're in the right marketplace. And this is the UK market value, which you're looking at on here. Next slide, please, Ginny. So how do we distribute our products? So normally, traditionally, you'd go into a shop and buy a product, but as you can see with those green boxes there, a traditional business has lots of things, you know, like high investment, buying stock, paying staff. There's lots of things actually, if you look on the right-hand side, in the blue box there, network marketing minimises it. It cuts them out totally. So it's low investment, no stock, no staff. We distribute, we talk, we recommend. You see your friends and family, and it's a word of mouth business, and that's how it works. It's flexible, part-time hours. You grow your business how you want to grow your business. And it's a proven global business model, and we're all doing the same thing, and that's how we really, really support each other, which is fantastic. So it's a really wonderful way of working, I think. So that's me done, thank you. And I think I'm going to hand you on to Kim now.
That's right, thank you very much, Liz. And let's take us to the next slide, and I'll introduce the next speaker, which is Kim, who is actually the person who introduced me to the business. Someone who I've been friends with for a very long time, and ex-work colleagues too. So without further ado, I'd like to hand you over to the lovely Kim Penny, and she's going to take you through a few of the benefits of Forever. Over to you, Kim.
Thank you very much, Ginny. Lovely to hear from everybody so far. So my job really is to talk to you about the benefits and what we actually do. So you can all see, you know, from that list that there are many, many benefits of working with Forever. So going back to when I first started, which was 2009, April 2009, I'd already been getting the benefits of drinking the aloe gel for several months. And the lady that introduced me said on several occasions she thought that I would be really good at it, but I really didn't feel that it was for me initially. I'll be absolutely honest with you, until I looked a bit deeper and saw the information about the company, and it was absolutely love at first sight. So once I knew, you know, and I'd got all the information and I'd got all my questions answered, I just had this feeling that it would be for me and I would be able to do it. So I got stuck in, and I'm very happy to say that I've had a great 10 years and still loving it, and still really, really enjoying everything that Forever has given me, which actually is far beyond my initial expectations. So some of the benefits. Well, Forever is a global business building opportunity, and I can vouch for that because we have got businesses in 12 or more countries. You do get your hand held, so you've no need to worry. Like me, I just didn't think it was for me because my background is in property. I spent many, many years building houses, so what on earth did I know about well-being and aloe and network marketing? But you do get full training and support, so you've no need to worry about that whatsoever. I think when people decide to join Forever, the main focus is on them. So it really, really is all about you. People join for all different reasons. And the main thing is to really drill down and find out what is important to them, and then totally help them to achieve it by working alongside them with Forever. So you get, you know, extremely well supported throughout your journey. So you can see it's flexible. Most people, when they join Forever, have still got a job. A lot of people still want to keep that job and run Forever alongside what they do. It's really flexible, and it can be as little or as much a part of your life as you want it to be. But I think one of the most important parts of Forever, and certainly one of the things that I found to be really special to me, is the community side of it, the support that you get, the friendships you make, and being part of something that is not only you can make a difference, but collectively we can all make a difference. So yeah, that is a really big part of it. So just, you know, thinking about yourself. I know I can't speak to you on a one-to-one basis here, but thinking about yourself, just think right now, what is it that might float your boat? You know, what is it? How could you make a difference? Would you like to be part of a community? So next slide, please, Ginny. Then I'll get down to the nitty-gritty of what we actually do. So there's really 3 levels of business, if you like. You can be a product promoter. And typically most people, I would say, come into this business first and foremost because they'd like to try the products and they'd like to actually use the products. But if you become a product promoter, because word of mouth, you start using a product and you get great benefit from it, what are you going to do? You're going to tell the people nearest and dearest to you. So you develop a customer base. And if you develop a customer base of 20 regular customers, you would earn around £200 to £400 a month. And pretty much once you've built that up, it becomes repeat. Our products are consumable. They're the type of products that everybody uses. So as long as people love our products, which they do, then they'll easily brand switch to you. So if you think you could build a business that month in, month out gives you £200 to £400 a month just by sharing some products that are great, that is actually, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it is actually a life-changing amount. It actually adds up to sort of £2,500 to £5,000 a year. So just imagine what you could do extra with that. And also, if you kind of equate it back to national minimum wage, you'd have to work a lot of hours to get that sort of money month in, month out. So that's a product promoter. So on to the next level, and you could develop a bigger business. So you'd become a business leader, and a business leader typically earns £600 to £2,000 a month. And how they would do that is not by just working much, much harder and developing a much bigger customer base themselves. It's actually by leveraging their time. And I think when I looked into Forever, this was the bit that really, really excited me. And this is the bit that we can actually relate to the beach money that Ginny said at the beginning. Because by leveraging your time, you do not have to be hands-on 24/7. Okay, so how you leverage your time and how you get paid for that leverage is by finding other people that, like you, would like to make some extra money, would like to make some changes in their life. And Forever would pay you a small percentage on the total turnover of your whole team. So again, typically a business leader would earn around about £600 to £2,000 a month, which is between £7,000 and £24,000 a year. Now, when I first came across Forever, that £2,000 a month was all I need. Well, not all I needed. I desperately needed it. So that is what I was focused on, and I got to that position in just over a year. So, that alongside, I already had a full-time job, and that alongside a full-time job really, really started to make some huge changes in our life. But you don't have to stop there. You can move on to the next level, which we call a business developer. And this quite simply is the next stage. So you've gone from product promoter to business leader, and a business developer is someone that just continues to develop, continues to introduce people, continues to help people that are introduced into the team, and helps and coaches those business leaders to develop their business and become completely independent. So a business developer would earn around about £2,000 to £20,000 a month. And in fact, that is actually an uncapped amount. It could be whatever you wanted it to be. So I think in a nutshell, the principle of Forever is that you cannot possibly succeed in Forever if you do not help other people. You've got to help other people with the products, and you've got to help other people with their business at whatever level they want to be at. So it's that sense of helping others that really does appeal to a lot of people. So you get a lot of people in Forever that have a caring nature and actually are in a caring profession. So I think I'm on to the incentives next, Ginny. Yeah, so the incentives. So as I say, when I started Forever, I wanted that £2,000 a month. All the incentives, as glamorous as they all looked, went straight over my head. All I wanted, all I needed was the money. And to be honest, I just thought I'd have to put in way more effort and maybe be one of those real driven, high-flying people to achieve all of these sort of things. And in actual fact, what I found was as soon as you get to that business leader level of around about £2,000 a month, the doors do open to all the incentives. You have to qualify, there's certain criteria, but at that level, you start to realise that you can actually achieve the incentives. So I'm very pleased to say that during the last 10 years, we've had several of these chairman's bonus checks totaling to almost just short of $50,000. So Forever is an exceptionally generous company that reward you for hard work at the end of the day. So that's the chairman's bonus. Going on to the next one, I think, is Forever to Drive. Yeah. So Forever to Drive, or we nickname it the car plan, because once you qualify for this, then you have a guaranteed amount of money for the next 3 years. So that really fits nicely with people taking out a car lease or a car loan and buying themselves a new car, which obviously is good for business. But in actual fact, it is just an amount of money that you can do whatever you wish to do with. I've seen people pay school fees, livery fees, all sorts of things. So it's your choice. You do with it whatever you like. But again, just a question I would ask you, think about it. If all of a sudden you were getting up to £500 a month extra, and that was going to come for the next 3 years, just for hitting a qualification, a one-off qualification, how would that change your life? You know, what do you think you might do with it? Save it all, spend it each month, you know, whatever, it's your choice. So, and I think finally is the global travel, which I have to say is my favourite. Again, never ever, when I joined Forever, this wasn't on my radar. But in 2012, so only 3 years after joining, we went off to Phoenix and we travelled to Vegas and Dallas and just had the most amazing time. It's all expenses paid. It's for 2 people and you get spending money as well. And that was the funny part, because nowadays we get a preloaded credit card, but back in 2012, you actually walked into your bedroom and the cash was on the bed in a brown envelope. So it was really funny. But yeah, so we've been to all of those destinations you can see there. And I think that Rex has got a wicked sense of humour. I think he sends you to places that you probably wouldn't choose to go to. And it really opens your eyes to what a big wide world there is out there, and to places that really, really inspire you, and puts you into a hotel with like-minded people, so there is no reason you cannot stop yourself but having an absolutely great time. So yeah, I think all said and done with my spot, I think it is the step-by-step a process to achieving with Forever. You can go as little or as far as you want, and you just make some amazing friends on the journey. So I think that's me done, Ginny. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kim. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up the last few slides, and just before I do, I'll give you a little bit about my background. I was working in marketing and PR when I was first introduced to this business. I was actually working with my husband. We had just set up a fish farm. We were diversifying that because we wanted to earn some extra money. And what I found was that I became that fish wife next to my husband, which I wasn't sure if that was what I wanted to be, but we needed to have these different sides to our business. And about 1.5 years into that, fortunately, Kim, who you just heard speak then, we were work colleagues from before, and Kim was the financial director at a company that I was working with. And she asked me to have a look at this, and I was extremely skeptical. So if that's you, you know, probably less so now you've seen a little bit more about it, or maybe even more so, because I have to say, when I first saw this, I just thought, is it all just too good to be true? But the fact that I knew that I could, you know, trust in my friend who'd asked me to have a look at it, and she seemed excited, and I could see that there was lots there that looked like it would work for me, and there was lots of things I needed to change. Actually, one of the most pressing things I needed to change when I started this business was we needed new tiles in our bathroom. It was as basic as that, and I just wanted to spend more time with my children. I found that I'd become that no mum. You know, I seem to say no to everything. That no, we can't afford it. No, I haven't got the time. If I wanted to be with my children. They had to come with me to the events and markets that we used to run with the fish business. And I felt I'd lost control of my time. And I didn't have time for myself or my family. And I didn't feel like I was doing anything very well because I just didn't have that balance in my life. And when I saw this business, I thought, can I throw something else in there to make this all work? And thankfully I did, because I built this in very small pockets of time. If you think you're busy, I felt like I had the monopoly on busy at the time. But if I hadn't made those small changes at the very beginning, then I wouldn't have got anything out of this business at the end. So you do have to make some sacrifices, there's no doubt. But actually the long term it delivers in more ways than you can imagine. And just on this slide here, you'll see that to help you do that, there is this proven system and a blueprint to success. It's not like just starting up your own business where you don't know where to begin. There's a very easy structured format to it. And as everyone said, and a very much a handheld business. So if ever you've thought to yourself, I'd love to have a business of my own, but I daren't, then this is a really good entry point for you, because you've got the sales and marketing tools. You don't have to do any of that. All of them are created for you. You've got training seminars, just like we're doing tonight for you here. We'll help you in every single way we can. You get your own shop, you get your own supportive community, Facebook groups, emails, whatever works for you. There's a way of you getting involved in the business. And just like I said before, if that's you being that sort of skeptical person, just like I was, then you're only human, because I do think that, this is a different business. It's not a conventional go to work and take home money. What we're doing in a normal job is swapping our time for money, where what we're doing in Forever is creating a way of having lots and lots of businesses where Forever pay us a bonus system on the amount of business that we create. But yes, you do have to put some time and effort into it. You do have to become a student and learn this business from the beginning, because lots of people start it and think, oh, I can improve on that, or I can make this better, but actually it's a wheel that is not broken. So just adopt the systems that are in place and you will fast track to success. It's all about making some changes, perhaps giving up a bit of TV time, or maybe getting up a little bit earlier, or using your lunch hour a bit more creatively. So there's pockets of time anywhere, and you can build this business in 5-10 minute pockets throughout the day, because that is exactly what I did. I had small children at the time, and a very busy family life, a new business. So I needed to be very, very selective with how I spent my time. But all of those things will help you to achieve your goals. I hope you've seen something tonight that intrigues you. I hope you've seen now what your friend is really excited about and wanted to show you, because that's why people are excited about this, because it's a way of making some changes. The next step for you is to get back in touch with the person that introduced you to this and that invited you on the call, to find out a little bit more about what the next step is to get your pack ordered, which will get you your products that you can start, it's like a trial pack, so you can start using some of them. It'll enable you to start learning the business and to feel your way. And it's as I say, from then on, step by step, you'll become more and more confident. We were all a bit nervous when we first started it, and very excited at the same time. But 10 years on into this business, I can still feel that sense of excitement of the first time that I opened my pack to my new box and my new business. So dream big, think excitedly, and get back in touch with that person that introduced you. And thank you for spending the time tonight to hear a little bit more about what we do. Okay, thank you very much for joining us.